All right. Let's
I'm not
go.
sure what to do with my arms.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want. All right. Because our deepest wounds often reveal our greatest purpose. Welcome to the Court of Connection. I have a very special guest here today, my friend Shawn Linvingston, motivational speaker. He owns a nonprofit now, podcast, I Am Redemption, doing amazing things. Yeah.
We're trying.
Yeah. So honored to have you here,
Thank
brother.
you so much. Thank you.
So my audience probably won't know you,
Okay.
a lot of my audience. So will you tell us who you are, what you do?
So Shawn Linvingston. I am, the grace of God, sober from heroin and all other hard drugs for 8 years now. Ended up in Austin here probably around that 8-10 years ago. Got sober in early sobriety, got involved in the running community. The running community absolutely transformed my life, so much so I got into marathons and ultra marathons, and that would kind of take me out and start putting my story out there a little bit, and taught me that there was this whole world out here where we could take all this pain we had been through and use it to get out here and use it to help other people and give all this pain some purpose, show people that there's power in it. And so by some way, a documentary was made about that. And so that's really what started pushing me out there and truly teaching me about this world and got me into podcasting and the speaking and all that stuff. So
I did not know that you got into running after you moved to Austin.
Yeah.
Wow. So when I met you the first time, that was, gosh, I don't know, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
You had just finished the ultra marathon, correct?
That particular race, maybe.
Up north?
Maybe. Yeah. So the race I'd done a lot of ultras, but the one they did the documentary on, that was from Alabama to Georgia. And so yeah, that was probably, I think right around that time I was about 1.5 years sober. So yeah, that was probably right around then.
Wow, you went all in.
Yeah.
He said, just like an alcoholic, right? Just like an addict, extreme.
Yeah, it's funny. Like there's absolutely, it definitely tapped into that, but I was able to do it and luckily do it like with people that showed me how to do it. And so it was like structured and in our brains, running 100 miles doesn't seem like a healthy balance, but when you structure it with training and understand what goes into it and stuff like that, it taught me those things that I don't think I was ever able to do with a drug or alcohol.
Yeah. So I mean, you've built your whole nonprofit on community. How has community been like the most vital part of your journey?
It's probably the most important thing. Obviously God, but I think God brings community in our life. And so I didn't realize how much I missed it, coming from the military, growing up in sports, playing basketball, I was always around community, always wanted to be with my friends, like all those things. And so, we start isolating as a drug addict and go off on our way and cut ourselves from our family. And so when I got sober, I did it through the running community and the recovery community and all that. And so it was so big for me to understand that there's other people out here just like me. And then, I was blessed for my story to get out there, and I watched how we could help change people's lives if we use it correctly. But my mission was like never for myself. I didn't want to blow up. I didn't want to do this. And so I just make sure anything I do or anything I go out and build is about something bigger than me. It's about community. And how can we use this experience and how can we help others?
I love that. Was leaning into community hard? I mean, I feel like for most addicts and alcoholics, like we had this mentality I'll speak for myself. I had this mentality of like, it's me, I got me, and I did not really trust people. Yeah. And so coming into this life, it was really hard for me and challenging for me to lean in and start to trust people. So what was that like for you?
Yeah. I think it's definitely hard at first. And I think in all honesty, like we get sober and most of us find it through the rooms of 12 steps and stuff like that. And so for me, I would trap myself in those rooms. I would never venture outside of those rooms. So I didn't understand there were all these fulfilling things in life that we could also be doing with other communities because I was scared. Yeah. And so the running community was the first step outside of that safety bubble. And then I saw that there, I'm like, oh, these are amazing people. They're doing amazing things. I could be around these type of people. And then I was just getting something in addition to what I was getting from the recovery community, just in a different way. And so I think that taught me the importance of it right off the bat. And so that was what I wanted to share with everybody else. Yeah. And so once you can get over anybody that starts going down a healthy journey, it takes an amount of courage, you know, as well as anybody. It takes an amount of courage to say you're going to the gym that day and then take your first step in there.
Yeah.
And then you do it and realize it was never as bad as you thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know what I mean? Usually you start getting comfortable in there and then you want to bring other people along so they get it. And so it's the same thing with running or anything else, you know, out here with that. And I think as soon as we start understanding that the reasons we're not going in there is because we're ashamed or we're afraid of what everyone's going to think.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to help change the mindset of all these things we think people are going to judge us for are our most powerful assets.
Yeah.
Once we start using them to help other people, I'm proud to be a heroin addict now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud to have been to prison. I'm proud to have been homeless because I watched that story help other people.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what makes it easy for me to jump into community now. And just being able to convey that message to people, and I think they get it and understand, especially coming out of a time where we were forced to kind of isolate and, you know what I mean, be away from each other.
Yeah. Are you referring to COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that was tough. I was just talking to somebody about that last night. It's like revisiting that feels like a dream, you know?
We have friends that have not been the same since, you know what I'm saying? Like I know people that haven't been the same since. There was it messed with people,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
just trying to I just started a men's meeting, an in-person men's meeting, and started doing it the week of Thanksgiving. So I was like, man, so that's the hardest part about doing community is, are people going to show up?
Yes.
That's the big jump for me now is like, all right, I'll do this. I'm going to do this 3-day event. I'm going to do this live thing. I'm going to do this men's meeting. I'm going to do this Thursday night Zoom meeting or run group, but are people going to show up? And so, forgot why I was going down this path, but, you know, we do the men's meeting and, why was I going down this path?
Tell us about the men's meeting.
That's what I was going to say. When I do these things or these events or meetings, I always have them one way in my head. They never go that way, but they always go exactly how they're supposed to. You know what I mean? I think there's a certain type of people that are going to show up and are completely different, but more, you know what I mean? The people that should be there, you know what I mean, are there. But it was cool because, you know, we had it at a place called Squatch. It's here in Austin. It's a gym, big community atmosphere. And there's endless options there for different workout groups, and there's men's only workout groups and all that. But, you know, usually when I do an event, I know most people that showed up. I would say 17 out of the 20 people that showed up were people I had never met before, brand new faces. And all of them were talking about, they're like, workouts are great, but we need a space where we could open up. We need a space where we could talk. And so to be able to be that and know I could be that for people and build that community. And then I think, you know, there was me and another buddy of mine, Terrence, there. I think some of those guys came in there and they see somebody like me in there, you know, big tatted dude that was in the military, but willing to open up and be vulnerable, willing up to open up and talk about being scared or being embarrassed or, you know what I mean, self-conscious, whatever it is. And they're like, oh, we can talk about these things. So that's I don't know. That's just what the coolest part about it was for me.
I think that brings up an important topic. I think I know people see like people like you and me, right, who have been on this journey for many, many, many years and have done a lot of the deep work and have faced a lot of fears. And they see us as this, like, you know, I'm up here or they're up here and I'm down here. And that's so out of reach, right? And I always tell people, like, I am no different than you. The only thing standing between you and me is more practice. That's it. You know, like, you are fully capable of being where I'm at. And I also just don't want people to think that I'm at some point where I've arrived. Like, and I'd like to dig into that with you at some point in this conversation too, of like, what are some of the fears and things that you have to face and move through in terms of like vulnerability and, you know?
Yeah, it's constant. This has probably been the biggest growth year of my life, and this is in my 8th year of recovery. But I think I'm still at year 8, still peeling back the onion, still trying to get better, still trying to find ways to grow. But, you know, this year is where I took a step out and I stopped working for other people and I'm going to work for myself. And I'm stepping off in a direction where I don't exactly know everything. And so I had to figure these things out. I had to figure out how to turn on a MacBook, how to navigate social media, how to do that. And like, I became damn good at all these things. And so I think, you know, the vulnerability of number one, being 42 years old and jumping out, going to be the guy on social media and doing posts, and are people going to like it? Are people going to listen? And then there's the biggest thing for me, I'd say, is because my ego is so big in addiction, I'm so polar opposite of that. I'm like hyper aware always to never come off ego or this and that. But it's very different that it's this kind of weird paradox to me where it's like all this attention that I seeked in addiction and all that, now I am not asking for, but I got. You know what I mean? And it's like being able to navigate that and always use that platform or that voice or whatever for good. So for me, it's like my big things, my big vulnerabilities are I want to make people proud. If you're my friend, I want you to see my shit and be like, that's my fucking boy right there. Like that's my main driver.
Well, I do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so maybe I shouldn't care what other people think, but I just want my people to be proud of me. People that have been on the show, I want them to be proud that they've been on my show. I want it to be, I know there's certain shows out there I look where it's like, man, I want to get on that shit. I want my shit to be looked at like that, just so I can do people proud.
Sure.
But yeah, like there's a lot of videos of me crying. You know what I mean?
Keep going.
No, you're good.
I have to turn this off.
You know, me talking about tearing up, me talking about crying, me being vulnerable. Understanding kind of how God's worked in my life and architected a lot of these things has been really cool. So, you know, and there's a part in the documentary where I'm getting ready to cry as I'm speaking, and he cuts away right when I'm about to cry. And when I saw that, like that provoked me to cry when I first saw the film. And that was this like valuable lesson in like being able to show of like how through a video, how you could grab people like that, and through editing, be able to edit it in a way that does that. And so it's like, I take a lot of that and try to convey that through when I do my content. But then that's also taught me the vulnerability of like looking at myself up there crying, and then I can look around and watch other people begin to cry. So that's what makes me so comfortable to do those things or talk about those things.
Yeah.
And you know, I can remember, I feel like I'm talking too long, but I spoke in a prison about a month and a half ago, 2,300 inmates, you know what I mean? Hardened prison dudes, gangs, the whole nine. And you walk in, and that's a place where you do not show vulnerability at all. You know what I mean? You do, then you're showing weakness, and that's what people prey on, is weakness in there. Prison's not like the movies, but they do definitely prey on the weak or people that won't stick up for themselves. And so to walk in that room, and I know when I go speak, I know I'm able to provoke emotion out of people. And so walking in there, and you got everybody stone faced and hard and all that, and to watch them soften and begin to turn the room to the point where now they're leaning in, to now they have to look down because they're trying not to cry, to the point where they're coming up to me afterwards and they're like literally sobbing in front of the other people and the other inmates and stuff like that. And so, and I remember saying like, that's the strong shit. The weak shit is to bury it down and act like it doesn't bother you. Like when you could just be you and let that out and know it doesn't make you any less of a man, doesn't make you any less tough, anything like that. To me, that makes you tougher. I'm not telling you to run around and cry about everything, or you know what I mean? But I think when there's a point to it and a passion and a purpose, it makes sense.
How has the journey of being able to hold space for men changed for you? Coming from someone who was, I mean, I'm assuming like you're this, you know, little hood rat from, you know, Pittsburgh, right?
Right. Area.
Right. And then moving into somebody who leans into community and can hold space for men to be their authentic self. What was that journey like for you? Or was it natural?
No, I think it was always in there. But I just needed to go through the adversity to build myself up, to have the self-confidence to understand that I'm a leader amongst men, that I could take control of a room. I had to go through all those things to go up there and be able to grab people's attention. So it's been a crazy journey. And I think, again, going back to what you said, like there's nothing special about me. It's in everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing special. Yeah, I went out and ran a 100-mile race. Only difference between me and anybody else is I just didn't quit.
Mm-hmm.
I did nothing special. I'm no superhuman. I'm not a professional runner,
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. I just didn't quit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think being able to kind of channel that messaging and hit it with people that I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah. I do think that though that we come to the table with unique gifts, right? Is it possible for all of us to tap into all aspects and all sides, of shit? Absolutely. Do some of us lead a little bit more strongly in certain areas? Yeah, but we're all here to like fit this puzzle piece and ultimately raise the collective consciousness, right? And connect each other. So some people come with much stronger gifts than I have, right?
Yeah.
But okay, so you started this men's circle, right? And you've led a lot of men on this journey in general, right? On a one-to-one basis. But what do you think is the message, the consistent message across the board for men that holds them back, or their biggest fear or insecurities that really keep them small?
Oof. Yeah. Let me ask you, do you think it differs between men and women?
Yes.
Do you?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's hear it. I know what it is for women.
I think men and women's brains work very different. I always enjoy the men and women talk with you because I always enjoy your perspective.
Yeah.
Let's see, specifically for men, I think so that's why I'm going to say it's for both men and women, because I think insecurity is what holds so many of us back.
Mm-hmm.
So that self-doubt, that voice in our head that's telling us to quit, that fear of failure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whether I don't want to, I'll never forget. I did sorry, I'm rambling.
No.
I did a workout group for a treatment center. It was a men's and women's group.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately the women were like, we have to work out in front of the guys.
Yeah.
Like that was their immediate thing. And I was like, hey, let me let you in on a little secret. They're more nervous to work out in front of you and look silly than you are them. And then like they all like busted out,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, laughing. And they were like, oh, wait a minute. And they like got it. They were both like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that answers where you're going, but I think it essentially just self-doubt and all that. But it's because, I mean, the way times have changed. A lot of us grew up in like single mother households and, you know what I mean, didn't have the strong father figure, didn't go to the military. Luckily, my life pushed me out to go to the military and figure out how to live on my own and stuff like that. And so I think that's a hard step for a lot of people to take.
Yeah.
Just in the times we're in. But I'd say the biggest thing for anybody else is the people you surround yourself with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I surround myself around bad motherfuckers, I do bad motherfucker shit. When I surround myself around average people, I'm average as everybody else.
Yep.
And it's always the way it is.
Mm-hmm. So true. I think for women, the common theme, and it probably is the same for men on some level, is this like innate not enoughness, like this small, like play small, like don't take up too much space. And I think generationally, we were kind of set up that way, where men were the providers, men were the, they were the workers. They were the ones who, kind of told women how to be, what to do. Right. And we just kind of fell in line. And this is years and years and years of feminine suppression. Right. And now what we're seeing is this like rebalancing where women are starting to rise into their own power and not play small and have a voice. And I think it's like, we're all trying to find our place in this new paradigm, because it has swung hard where some women are like, I don't need a man, or, like there's this toxic femininity, and there's also this toxic masculinity. And what I'm starting to see, honestly, is more men being repressed. And
it's funny you said that.
Yeah.
One of my recent guests, Bray, he was talking about that thing, and a big reason why he does what he does is to try to help men find their place. And so he was saying, he's like, I'm all for women's empowerment and all that stuff, but it's also left a man of like, where's my place?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of sense. You could speak in general terms like that, but I think like per man, or I'll speak for myself, once I dug in and really did the work and got myself in shape and like really went out and ran these races and I overcame this adversity, I became very aware of like who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I know who I am as a person. I know what I'm capable of, and I'm very comfortable being that now. And so I think it took me to get to 40 years old to get to that comfortable place in my life where I'm proud as hell of who I am.
Yeah.
And no matter what, I know who I am and I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I don't need other people anymore to fulfill me.
Validate who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I want people in my life, obviously, but I don't need anybody. And I think you carry yourself in a different way like that. And so I think I very much know where my place is in society or a relationship or anything like that because I know who I am.
Yeah.
And so if you don't know who you are, then I could see where there might be a little bit of that of not knowing where I'm at generationally or as a man. But if that's what you're talking about is like really digging deep, doing that work to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because there's so many hard set old beliefs that stand in the way that most of us are not even conscious of, right? I get in a relationship and I still am carrying around this this father wound that, basically has me forced into my masculine energy where I'm like, I got it. Stop trying to carry my shit. Stop trying to, and it's like, I'm just trying to help you and take care of you. You're my woman, and I'm like, and it feels like some sort of fucking threat to me, like you're making me feel like I'm not capable, like that's the dialogue. And so, and this is just my story. And so it's been such an interesting journey to start to drop into my feminine and allow people to provide, take care of me. And I don't just mean a man. I mean friends, right? Because I've always been that for other people. And so that journey of like leaning into being on the receiving end was so fucking uncomfortable. What's that like for you?
There's so many things going through my head as you're talking about that. And getting married has been a big lesson in a lot of seeing the different dynamics of like men and women and how we operate. And I heard something really good recently, and it was they asked what the man wants for Christmas, and he basically was like, I just want to know that I'm worthy of your love. And like when you boil it down to it, that's it. Like that's it for me. Like as far as a wife goes or a woman in your life, like I just want to know that I'm worthy of your love. As long as I know I'm not, like my days are good, materialistic, none of that means anything else.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's the one thing that I came away with what you were saying that made me think of that.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
Because the seminar I went to last weekend, it was all about the mother-father wound and how that showed like the wounded masculine, the wounded feminine. And on day 3, because I can't give away the details in case somebody wants to participate in this, but day 3 was this ultimate act of giving and receive, like the feminine giving to the masculine and the masculine giving to the feminine. And it was the most profound fucking experience I have ever been a part of in my life. And it was just this, and to me, the giving was easy, but to watch the men fall apart and like lean in, it was like, it took a minute for them to kind of like anchor in or like lean into that experience. Like you could feel like the rigidness in their body as we're like speaking into them, and they have their eyes closed, and like, it was this whole experience. And, like all of a sudden it was just like a surrender, like a bodily surrender and crying, and then like grabbing us to like hold on to them. It was just so powerful. And then the receiving from the masculine was just like, holy shit, like the honor and the respect and the absolute just like symbol of surrender to the feminine was just like, oh, I wish I could give details, but it just made me realize like we all want the same thing. We all want to be loved, seen, understood, accepted, and appreciated. And it made me think about like this idea of love language. And are you familiar with the different love languages? What are yours?
What is mine?
Physical touch,
words of affirmation, probably.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So example of that, I was talking to somebody recently and his were the same. And he was like, and it's not affirmation in the ways that I think people would think, like, you're amazing, you're strong, you're this, you're that. He said, it's like, if we have a conversation and I go there with you, right? And I'm like in this experience with you, you reflect back that you deeply hear me and understand me, right?
Yeah.
And appreciate my ability to have courage to go there, right? It was like that kind of affirmation, right? Being seen,
right,
and understood.
Yes. Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah, we went through this weird phase for a while. Like I was raised a certain way. I went to the military at a certain age, so I've always prided myself on being a gentleman. You know what I mean? Like doing those things, holding doors for people. Like I called young dudes that are teenagers sir, just because it's everybody's ma'am sir. It's just how I'm programmed. And then that was admirable for a while, and then there was a couple years where all of a sudden that was like toxic masculinity, where I'm literally just trying to walk out of the gas station and be a gentleman and hold a door for somebody, and then I'm getting looked at crazy or something said to. So that was a little weird. I don't think this is answering anything to what you were talking about.
We're just having a conversation. Yeah.
But it's interesting, and now I feel like it's kind of gone back. And then you even look at society right now, right? Like the pendulum swung real hard one way.
Yeah.
And then now you turn on Netflix and it's all middle America Westerns, and it's like that's the vibe of everything that they're like putting out. And now it's cool to go to the military again. And now they're doing away with all these rules.
Yeah. It's
just odd how it kind of sways back and forth and then leaves people wondering what their place is or any of that. But when so much of I'll speak for myself again. I feel like marriage and who you choose as a wife and husband and all that, I feel like it's very closely tied to your parents and so much of relationships and all that stuff. And like, because there's so many times where I call my wife out for being exactly like my mom. It's like, well, then you wonder why you ended up with this woman that has these uncanny characteristics. You know what I mean? She's not my mom, obviously.
Sure.
But just how they operate and stuff like that, very similar.
Yeah.
And I feel like so many of our previous relationships, all that stuff is just building us for letting us know everything we do want, don't want, and then what dynamic we're gonna have in those.
Yeah.
But
it forces a mirror up to you where it's like, I actually find excitement now in looking at the resistance that comes up in me at moments, right? It's like I feel a resistance and I'm like, what is this, right? It's not about the other person ever. It's never about the other person, right? I had a couple of experiences at the seminar where I had some resistance come up, and it was fun to explore that and step back and just be like, what's coming up in you? Like, what's being stirred in you? Is it that you don't feel worthy of having the same experience as this other person? Is it that you don't feel like you feel inadequate, or you know what I mean? And it becomes this thing that is exciting because that means I get an opportunity to grow.
Yes.
You know?
So there was obviously I was telling you about continuing to peel back the onion. And so I started going to therapy, and we were talking about something with my therapist, and she brought it up, and I immediately, guard came up, and she's like, well, what is that? What are you going through? And I start trying to explain it. And, we basically come up with, it all boils back down to childhood. And then I have this thing in me where I always got to be the tough guy. And it's like, all right, why am I like this? Where did this come from? And I start digging deep and realize a lot of these attributes that I have are like my father. And then you start wondering why you react to certain situations in certain ways. And so there's times where, I'll get mad, I'll yell, and I can hear my dad in my voice. You know what I mean? I can hear the toxic shit he's talking about. And I hate that I'm about to use the word toxic masculinity, but that's what it is. And so she is basically, the way she broke it down, and she's like, well, Shawn, like, you're in these situations, you have to ask yourself, like, there's different people. Imagine you're driving a bus and you have all these different life experiences. There's these different yous that are going to be driving this bus. So you always have to ask yourself, who's driving the bus right now? Is this who I really want driving the bus? Is this the toxic shit from my dad driving the bus right now? And that was like a major eye opener. So like you're saying, I've never been the big deep thinking guy, but now I've become that, to where it's like in that moment I start digging deep, where you know what I mean? Where it's like I'm confronting that of like, all right, I reacted like this way. Why do I want to hit this guy right now? You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's not, he didn't do anything. It's something in me. You know what I mean? Why do I feel that way? Because he said about it. So yeah, it's Too bad it took us 40 years, or took me 40 years to get to that.
But you're here, you know.
We're here.
The reason I was laughing is because my ex, there was one day he was just staring towards this table, and it was just like, and I'm like, he's thinking hard right now. Like, wow, I wonder what he's thinking about. It feels like really deep. And I'm like, what's going on over there? What are you thinking about? And he's like, that leg's uneven. And I literally lost my shit because I was like, women are just different, you know? Like, I'm never looking at a fucking table and thinking, man, that leg's crooked. I'm like swimming in the deep, like, you know? And I think we balance each other out, which is beautiful, right? Because I think what I've learned from the men role models in my life is just like, stop overthinking. Stop. It's okay, you know? But then we, on the flip side, have been like, think a little bit more, like go a little deeper, you know? Right. So it's this beautiful blend that pulls me back, you know, but then also pushes the masculine. So
there was did you see the new Gladiator?
No, I haven't yet.
So Denzel's in it. And there's a portion in the movie where I think their vice is to have young guys, you know what I mean, dabble in that kind of stuff. And there was something they said that triggered that thought of what you just said about balancing each other, or like how men and women are like in a marriage, you start to understand like we are the yin to the yang. Like get some aggro dude that's full of testosterone, he gets married, starts having kids, what happens? He has a bunch of girls that level him the fuck out. And so it's like, you know, straight, I don't care if you're gay or not, whatever, like support you anything you do, but I'm just saying it would be tough to have the same side.
How does that balance
you out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, how does that balance happen? Yeah, that's such a good point. I've never really thought about that.
Because I think men, you guys settle us down a lot like that. I think we're able to, you know, you guys have some times where you need to be brought back to center, you know what I mean? Settle down and stuff, but we were able to provide that for each other in a natural way.
And I think what I'm learning on this journey, I think the most important role that a man has for a woman is if you guys can create a container of safety, like there's no level that we can't push you guys to. And there's no level of, there's no cap on the amount of creativity and power that we provide in the relationship, you know? Right. But we have to fucking heal these wounded parts, you know?
Yeah.
So it's so powerful.
Again, being married has taught me a lot, and just seeing my wife in the house, right? Like we have 2 Dobermans. They're by her side at all times, right? When she sleeps at night, they are sandwiched on each side of her like that. But I notice wherever she's at the house, that's where the dogs are. That's where I am. And so it's like the woman is like very much the life force. Yes. And then like, I never feel better than when it's all of us laying in bed or all of us on the couch. And it literally feels like a charging station. Yeah. Like I'm charged to be able to go back out in the world. And so like, I don't know if that's sexist or this or that.
No,
like,
it's true.
For the woman to be that, it's very much in my household. Like she's the battery where we're able to, she's the life force in our house that we all catch our charge from.
Damn.
And then like, even we're not the type where we really go to bed mad at each other or leave the house, but there has been, you know, a time on occasion, but like, things aren't good there, I'm not good out there in the world. Like things need to be good here so I can go be whatever I need to be out there.
Yes. That's powerful. I've never heard a man put it that way, but it's so true. Like we are the life force. We literally birth life into this world. We are the channels for creation.
Yes.
You know? And so that's, you know, and this is like such a make the woman happy and then you're happy, but it's fucking true. Like not happy in the sense of do whatever to make her happy, but
people can argue all day and whatever their views are about sexist this or that, the other thing. But I think much like you just said, if we are able to provide that sense of safety, security, whether that's us paying the rent, you know what I mean? Whatever, we're not saying women can't pay their own bills, but however, every man is not big and strong. There's some men that are super smart, some men that are stupid. However, which way you're able to find your way to help provide or make a woman feel safe. And then she's able to provide that charge for you at home. I think that's the natural yin and yang balance.
Yes. So powerful. So at your men's meeting, do you guys have a structure? Or you just kind of free flow? Is there a topic?
So everything I'm doing is on faith right now. There's not a whole lot of structure. No, I kept it. It's a bonfire, so it's 2 hours.
Is that at your house?
No, we do it at Squatch, right out there in the parking lot. Very woodsy, outdoor, blue collar feel. But we do the bonfire. We've only done one. We'll have the next one this Monday. But the one cool thing about it is we did it. I was like, hey guys, I think we might do one in December, and then maybe we pick up in January, unless you guys tell me you want it next Friday. And they were all like, yeah, next Friday. So I was like, all right, cool. But for the first hour, I said we'll keep it, kind of structured. Introduce yourself, share. But the one thing I didn't want it to do is take on the form of a 12-step meeting, because I feel like when it does, it immediately always goes to I'm trying to say it.
Just say it.
It's kind of like, wah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just that tone.
Yeah.
And I always want to have a space where people feel open to do that, but I also want to celebrate people's fucking wins. I want people to be motivated. I want that rah shit too. And so the big thing when it was spawned because we went every Saturday we do a run group, and then we go out afterwards, taco and coffees.
Love it.
This one particular weekend, for whatever reason, none of the women came out to eat, so it was 6 of us guys. Normally when we go for tacos and coffee afterwards, about 45 minutes, an hour, and then everybody departs. We did it, and it was all the guys, and we were like 3 hours in, and we're looking around, and I was like, oh, man, like I needed this. And it was just normal. People were venting, people were talking about work, they were comparing notes about this, and you know what I mean. And it's very eye-opening when it's like I feel like my relationship problems are all mine, and it's like she's never wrong. She justifies everything she says, like you know what I mean. And it's like this venting I need to get off, and then he's like, oh yeah, bro, that's my wife too. And it's like, yeah, my girl does that too. And it's like, oh, this is just how women are. Okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Being funny, but in a way, like the same thing girls get together and no guys do their dumb shit. No, I'm only joking. I'm not being
no, he's not. I'm just kidding.
No, but that's what we need to open up and vent about. And so we just looked at each other and it was like, all right, we need to keep this going. So I wanted it to be, we'll have it structured for an hour and then just keep it open. If you guys want to cross talk, I don't want anybody in there fixing anybody.
Yeah.
But I want it to be a place where people can come show strength. People can come get strength from other people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just have it kind of be open and shoot the shit. And
I love that.
if one week we're talking football, cool. If one week we're talking about, you know what I mean, being vulnerable and mommy issues, cool.
I love it. I love it. It's so funny to me how parallel we are, literally. Like you're, many steps ahead.
Me and you or men and women?
Me and you.
Okay, always.
Yeah. It's so funny because you mentioned that on the episode when I was on yours, but I'm sitting here thinking like, holy shit, me and some of my girlfriends are we started the women's DA meeting. That's for 12-step, right? But we have decided to start like a spirituality, like, because I want circles where men and women can come together and like explore this openly together. I think that I'm just going to say it. Like, I think that a part of my role on this journey is to elevate and expand the consciousness of 12-step spaces. And it's so dogmatic, and it's, how do we change that? Because we need to, and I think I'll play a role in that. But anyways, that's separate. But the spiritual group is just, we don't want a format. We want people to come and bring their thoughts and curiosity and like their depth, their vulnerability, and all of that stuff. It's not necessarily like a women's circle, but
right. No, I think you and I, we've had our time. I think you and I will always be here for the newcomer and anybody that needs it, right? But I also think like you and I both I've reached a point in life where I'm headed in a direction, I'm traveling a certain speed, right? And I don't have a lot of time to wait for people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I'm not going to be there for you or anything like that, but I can't chase or do any of that. And I think,
or drag you up.
Right. And I think there's people that, some people, the bar is get sober, right? And then there's some people who want more.
Yeah.
And I think I definitely I'm dealing more with the people who want more.
Yes.
Or maybe the people that have been 6, 7, 8 years sober, been going to meetings, they want more.
Yeah.
They need it. They don't know what it is they need. They need that extra spark. But we also get a lot of the people that have big hangups on not stepping in the 12-step world and somehow are out here 7, 8 years sober. You know what I mean? I have a lot of people like that are maybe curious. They might not be hardcore addicts like us, but they know they're drinking too much. They don't necessarily want to jump into AA
Yeah.
But a men's group is something they could bite off. And I've had a couple guys like, yeah, dude, I stopped drinking since we started talking.
Yeah.
And they could put it down.
It's amazing.
And so I think we can fill these other,
yeah.
There's a lot of people out here that need it.
I love that. Gosh, you're just mirroring me back to me, where it's like, I have always said that. I've said that for a long time, that people find me that want to go deep. Like I'm never going to be the girl that cares about what fucking shoes you have or what the weather, like, that shit makes me like uncomfortable, you know?
Right.
And that's not for everybody, but the people who are ready for that find me always, and find my group always, you know?
Right.
So powerful.
I think that was just kind of 12 steps are great. You know what I mean? They get you where they need to be, but it becomes this thing where it has to be everything. And we're not allowed to work past that. We're not allowed to grow past that. And if you start growing past that, or you start venturing out a little bit, then people are like, oh, you know, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's a great springboard. But I just need to be fulfilled for more. And I watch it make differences in other people's lives. And like, I think I can go into a room, you or I can go in and speak, and we're not going to hit everybody. You know what I mean? If somebody here's running and they're like, fuck that, I'll never do that.
Yeah.
I'm probably not the guy for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you heard that and you're like, man, I kind of want to give that a try, I'm the dude for you. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to somebody last night, and just sharing some of my stepping out. I won't say too much, but my stepping out of, you know, this old part of my life into something new and unknown. And, you know, I told him my story about, you know, my body shame and my being overweight and stepping into this whole realm, and what the journey has looked like. And he was like, wow, I'm just feeling like a deep call to tell you, like, I think that should be a part of what you do, like whether or not it feels aligned to you or not. And he shared a personal experience with somebody that he was in a relationship with, and helped her lose like 80 pounds, and like watch the psyche part of it still be so fucked up, you know? And so I do think that will be a part of what I do, you know? I think just like the healing in a real way, like healing the relationship with the body and with food, and not by restricting or fixing your body necessarily. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a byproduct. You know what I mean? That part comes naturally when you do the inner work. And so what I want to say, that for people that are listening, is like, the most important thing that you can fucking do for every one of your relationships is fucking heal yourself. Period. It cannot be about healing another person. It cannot be about anything else. It has to be about you. And as a result, everything else around you will change.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. You said it perfectly.
Yeah. So what is bringing you like excitement and joy today?
What's bringing me excitement today? Being able to know I'm at a point in life where I have a family, and you know what I mean? I've reached that. I have something I'm working for now bigger than just me. And then being able to say that I'm a founder of a nonprofit, scared as hell and not sure exactly what I'm doing, but just keep setting my sights towards helping people, and good things keep happening. But yeah, just keep doing the podcast, keep doing live events, and just keep trying to find cool stuff out here for us to do.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, my goal is never get sober and go work a 9 to 5 and then just collect a paycheck and go home and be miserable every day. I want to live life.
Yeah.
So find the coolest ways to do it.
Well, you've been such an inspiration for me, especially lately, where I'm just like in that space where my soul is being called to something different. I'm not meant for a 9 to 5. I'm just not. And so watching you, it gives me so much motivation to just like step out. Cause I believe that watching your story, it's been like, I take a step and the universe provides another stepping point. And then I take another step and it provides another stepping point. And it just, when you live like that, the unfolding is beyond anything that you could ever like wrap your head around or like visualize or create. We limit ourselves.
Right. 100%. One of the biggest pieces of feedback, one of the biggest things when I started speaking was people told me the biggest feedback I would get is, you're so authentic. You're so authentic. And then once I started doing the podcast, the biggest thing I kept getting was, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And so it's like, I just keep those two things aligned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you're saying, the universe provides, like, people sense when you're stepping out on purpose. Yeah. It's easy for me to talk on a podcast because the stuff I talk about saved my life.
Sure.
I believe in it in my bone marrow. You know what I mean? I watch it make a difference in other people's life. And so people see that. They want to be a part of it. They're attracted to it.
Yeah.
And so it's like us. Now it's our job to navigate. How do we get these people to be able to find us? You know what I mean? So we just keep trying to give off our signal and do whatever way we can. And then the people that need to find us hopefully do.
Do you know what the highest vibrational emotion or feeling is?
No.
Authenticity.
Really?
More than love.
Really? We just get goosebumps.
Yes.
Really?
It is it's the highest vibration of all of the emotions. You know what the lowest is?
What?
Guess.
I mean, is it like I'm thinking greed, like 7 deadly sins?
Shame.
Shame is the lowest vibration.
The lowest vibrational frequency that a person could ever live in. And the highest is authenticity.
Love it.
Fucking crazy, right? When someone told me that was higher than love, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It gives people permission though. You know?
Yeah.
So powerful.
Yeah, that's it's funny that, and I don't know about how you feel, but the more, you put yourself out there on social media or whatever, like there's so many things that I'm blessed for in life, but there's always been there's a little hint of like imposter syndrome and all that stuff. And so it's, for me, it's like, figure me out or like anything like that. But it's like, I'm just literally being me.
Yeah.
And it's the simple but deep thought to me, where it's like everything I've done my entire life has prepared me to be this person right now. So I just have to do that.
Yeah.
And lean into being all the way that, and not giving a fuck what people think about my choice of music or choice of shoes or this or that.
Yeah.
And lean hard, and good things happen.
You know what somebody told me recently about imposter syndrome?
What?
It's actually because the person that we've jumped into a higher timeline of ourselves and our mind just hasn't caught up yet. So we're embodying this version that we're supposed to be and have been called to be, and the mind just takes time to catch up.
Yeah.
That's all imposter syndrome is.
Right.
It's not that I'm not capable. I'm already being that. It's my mind is not recognizing that fully yet.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I get it big time, like with like speaking and stuff like that, because nothing I do is money motivated.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so people are like, oh, well, like, what's your rate or whatever? And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't want to like price myself out. And I've gone through this recently where it's like being able to say like, this is my rate, this is what I expect, like that. But knowing that you've worked to get there, that you're worth that I know that's what I provide.
Yes.
And so that's where it's like the imposter syndrome, but it's like, I might have that imposter syndrome walking not on the stage, but in the door. But when I'm walking off stage, there's zero imposter syndrome because I know what I just did. You know what I mean?
What do you think's the old belief underneath that? Like underneath this, like, oh God, somebody's asking me, I'm gonna have to give them a price, and I'm, like, what do you think's underneath that?
I think just years of knowing I was a dope fiend and a drug addict, and you know what I mean. Just those years of beating yourself down in it to where it's like, how could anybody ever want to call me here to pay me to do this? There was we have a mutual friend, Amy, and I was getting ready to go up and speak at a thing in LA. She's like, how you feeling? I was like, I'm a little nervous, actually. She looked at me real serious and she's like, remember who the fuck you are. And so I always use that now, where it's like, that's that one little nugget that I needed, where it's like, you know what I mean? Like when you're living in purpose and living in authenticity, like we said it on my podcast, like I think you're allowed to look in the mirror and be like, I'm a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like what I do. You know what I mean? Like, I think that should be your goal, is get to that point where you've practiced something and done something so much where you can look yourself in the mirror. No,
yes,
I'm worth this money, whatever it is. Like I'm a bad motherfucker at this.
Yeah. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I actually just made a video about that where I was like, you get to decide. There's nobody out there that gets to decide whether you think you're fucking enough and badass and the baddest motherfucker and the sexiest, the whatever motherfucker out there, not from a place of better than, from a place of certainty within myself, You get to decide right now.
Right. When you think about it, like a woman walks in, beautiful woman, whatever, boss bitch energy like that. You walk in where it's like, now, like, just that aura of somebody walking in with that confidence, I'm captivated.
Totally.
You got me.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Now, all she did was flip that switch and say, I'm going to walk in like that. And so if you want to be that in life, or you see yourself, or you're putting in that work, act as if. Carry yourself that way. Decision. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And people are going to follow that too.
Absolutely. Oh, so where do we find you? Tell everybody where we find you.
I am mostly on Instagram, but I am Redemption on everything. If you guys ever want to, this should always be your first form of entertainment and podcast. But if you ever have more bandwidth, you could check out I Am Redemption.
Please do. Please do.
But always stick with Court of Connection.
I'll link everything below too.
Yeah. But yeah, it's on I Am Redemption on all platforms. And then if they ever want to check out the documentary, it's called 100 Miles to Redemption. And there is talks of it becoming something else bigger here pretty soon. So we'll see what happens.
Oh shit. Love that. Okay, so one question we'll leave with this. What is something that you do that you would be embarrassed if other people knew behind closed doors?
That would be embarrassed people do. Sing to my wife every day. Like I probably talk to her. During COVID was like when we were forming our relationship during quarantine, and I think we were in snowpocalypse very shortly after that, and we were sitting there and we had like no power, no nothing, and I sang and was like, "This is garbage." And so literally for 2 weeks, now granted we have no power, no food, no any of that, so we're roughing it hard. So everything we were saying back and forth, we were singing like in that tone, and so like I still do it.
I love it.
So I just sing dumb shit to her all the time.
I love it.
Yeah, but there's that, or she has videos of me doing commentary to 90 Day Fiance. There you go. That's a good one. We watch 90 Day Fiance all the time.
I love it.
And so I get into it, or like The Bachelor.
Uh-huh.
And so I'll start like yelling at the TV, and
The
she's like,
cringy shit. Yeah.
So she's like, "I'm gonna take videos of you doing it." I was like, "It'd probably do pretty well."
It probably would.
But
Yeah. So if you could look at all the superheroes or action figures or whatever, who would you be?
all the superheroes or action figures?
Yeah, it could be either. Or characters, doesn't matter. Who's closest to who you are or how you see yourself?
How I see myself.
Yeah.
Dang, this is a deep question. I mean, you got to limit it. There's too many characters to pick from.
Okay, superheroes.
Damn, what superhero? You got me with this one. You put the pressure on me. I don't know. It's funny because in the documentary, my sister calls me her superhero, and then it shows a thing of me being the superhero, and it says B-ball across my thing because that was her nickname for me. But I mean, I guess we got to go Captain America.
Let's go. I love it.
I mean, I'd love to pick Batman, but I'm not a billionaire, and it's not. But like the hours that I keep, and like when I do all my work and going to the gym and all that, so we could either say Batman or Captain America because
I love it. Fuck yeah. Let's go.
What about you?
Damn, I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that question.
Yeah, turn it back on you.
It's harder with there's not as many women superheroes, you know?
Are we saying like I want their attributes, or this is just most likely
how I view myself? Yeah.
How I view myself. All right, so you got to pick one.
Okay. But I feel like how can we reframe the question? There's no
or action figures. I don't know what.
Okay. You know, I don't know if you ever saw the actual Barbie movie
with Margot Robbie and
yes,
I think bits and pieces, but never.
So like her character in that movie really was like really stepped into this like authentic seeing people for who they are, like total non-Barbie,
right?
You know, view. It's hard for me. We'll have to circle back on this question because that's tough.
It's a very, very tough one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll prepare more for that question.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what those questions should do, make you think.
Yeah, so make you think. So I want to know later this week. You got to tell me what your character. I'll same here.
All right, you got it.
Okay, Shawn, I absolutely love you. I adore you. Respect the shit out of you. You're doing amazing things, and I'm just honored to be your friend and on this path with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Anything you ever need, I got you.
Yes.
I feel like we've been we've been connected since we met or knew each other. So
That's
I'm
right.
so excited for you, and anything I could do for real.
Well, I do think we'll do something cool, some sort of retreat or some sort of like blending of men and women. Like I can see that, like
Oh man,
something. We'll to be determined.
let's do it.
Yeah. May the cord that binds us to one another and to source remind you that you are always guided, never alone, and always home. Until next time.
Let's
go. Okay.
If I was super long-winded, I'm sorry.
Dude, you weren't. What do you mean? I love